Hello, and welcome back to the Grow with Gabby podcast. I'm your host, Gabby Roberts, and today we're talking about a very important topic. So if you need to take notes, pause, come back to it, that's okay. Go grab your notebook. I will wait. It's all about the fact that it was never about the money, okay? And how we are redefining wealth and success on your terms. Now, this is something to very close to my heart. And we're talking about healing and turning this power into purpose and turning that purpose into aligned action. Okay, so it's going to hit home for anyone who has chased money, who was thinking that it was the only answer, and to find out that it's not is a little mind blowing. So let's dive in. So, we're going to go over a couple things today and a couple mic drops, if you will, because the realest thing I have ever learned about growing a business and being an entrepreneur is that when you chase the money long enough, you realize that it's not about the money. When you make all this money, it's exciting, but then you're like, oh, hold on. I wanted all this money and I got it. But now, do you just hold your money? Do you just cuddle with it at night? Do you just hoard it and do nothing with it? Like, no, you don't. You probably go and spend it on something that means something to you. So, when I made a lot of money before I was a coach, I was a dancer. I made a shit ton, like 10K at least every month. I was making like 2 grand a weekend. At least. At least. I mean, sometimes it was 3 grand and I made these like record prices and I was so like happy with the money itself because yes, I could buy the things that I needed, but was I regulated? Was I calm? Was I collected? Did I feel good in my body? Hell no. So it's just interesting that when I left dancing, I went and I sold cars. Actually, no, it was before. I did both. I went back to dancing a couple times because of the money. The money was so good and I chased it for so long because I never had it as a kid. So that's natural for a lot of us to not have something growing up and then want it really bad as an adult. And as you can see, I got my little peridot worry stone here. I always like to bring something close to my heart. I also have my opalite, if you guys love crystals. There's a local shop here. And if you join my free community on School, you can actually win fun little crystals like this. So I always keep something near me. And of course, you got my holiday. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. But the point being is, I went from car sales back to dancing, back to car sales, and then back to dancing, and then I left completely. And then I went across country and I continued to chase the money. When really, again, the more I made though, the less I actually felt fulfilled. It's only, and this is going to sound crazy, it's only when I had the least amount of money, but good people and good regulation skills is when I've felt the most wealthy in my life. Truly. And I was making a lot at card sales. I mean, I made like 3 grand in one day before. Like that was so fun. But truly, the more money I made in that area of my body, of my mental health, of my the toxicity that was around, I wasn't happy. I felt emptier than ever. So it was like, what was I even chasing? And it's this hustle trap, honestly, that a lot of us was raised in. You just go, go, go until you can't go anymore, and then you keep going. And then it's like, yay, good job, you did all these things. But it's like, but at what cost? When I was a dancer, I was burnt out. I was miserable. I was suicidal. I was so fucking unhappy. When I was at car sales, honestly, the same. I was burnt out. I was miserable. I was suicidal. I didn't know what I wanted. I was in school full time trying to chase more money to make a degree to make more money when that wasn't even the point. But this toxic hustle culture tells us to keep going and you're doing amazing and la la la. But at what cost? We're literally killing ourselves from the inside out by burning ourselves out and just working ourselves into the dirt till our body cannot handle it. Then we're getting sick, right? Then we're just not taking care of our body. And those, I could go on about that for days. Those, you can work yourself into an early grave. Stress is good in little bits, but not 24/7 like that. So that next level of income never really lasted because the money never made me happy. And so if you're resonating with this and you're like, yeah, oh my God, for sure, that's me, that's okay. I think we all chase the money. We think we all chase something. There's always something we're chasing. So it's just important to get really clear on what that is and why. Is it success? Is it because I don't want to be a failure? Is it because I want to be wealthy and happy? Whatever. This is also what we're going to talk about today in this podcast is what does being healthy and happy and wealthy and successful look and feel like to you? Because you get to decide. If anyone else tells you you have to do it this way, I mean, you can choose to listen to them, but what aligns with your body. Okay, so I have met seven-figure entrepreneurs who look successful on the outside. They got the money, they got the clients, they got the car, the house, the wife, the kids, all of the things. But are they happy? No. They're working themselves to death. They have no time for themselves. They have no time for their family. They don't take vacations. They don't take any days off. They're like, what's that? I've met so many. They work through their hair appointments. They work through their nail appointments. They're supposed to be going to getting a massage, and they're like under the table with their phone. I'm like, what? So we're missing the whole point because this hustle trap has told us to work harder and go, 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 go. But again, we can do that. And I did, and I made a lot of money, and I have made a lot of money, and I'm always grateful for that. But again, like I'm pushing this so hard is because the money's not everything. So some of these people, these successful people, have built these massive empires, but now they don't have any capacity to act, to be present in their life that they build. Can you imagine that? I mean, that's what people talk about, the golden handcuffs. It's simply like I have worked so hard. Now I don't get to sit back and enjoy it. Like I have to be working. I have to be on 24/7. So the money mindset shift is it's not about the dollar amount that makes you wealthy. And like I said, you get to decide what that feels like. When I ask my clients, they say stuff like, when I feel wealthy when I help somebody else, when I'm able to travel and have fun and play and rest. Like that's what makes them feel wealthy. When they have good friends, good people, good community in their lives, good support systems. That's what makes them feel wealthy, not the dollar amount. It's funny because I asked my client the other day, I was like, what makes you happy? And money was on the very bottom of that list. What makes you feel wealthy, successful, right? So it also talks about what does failure feel like? What does it look like? Oh, failure is if I give up completely. Okay. Is what you're doing right now giving up? Are you showing up even if it's messy? Yes. So you're still doing it. So you're not failing. You're not successful. You're not behind. It's just the perspective that you're looking at your life may feel like it's like that. But remember, your feelings aren't facts. Okay. So you want money, time with your family, travel, creativity, support, impact. That's what we're really after here. So allow that to be your North Star, if you will. So just simply ask yourself, what is your definition of wealth? Write it down. Keep it somewhere you can see. And so if you're like, oh, I'm not wealthy or I'm not successful or I'm not happy, you can determine all these things. You can go back to that whiteboard and say, that's a definition of successful. Am I doing that? Yes. Okay. Great job. High five. Right? And celebrate. Because if you're there and you don't realize you're there, that's where self-sabotage comes in. You're not celebrating yourself. You're always pushing to that next level without really honing in on where you're at right now. Okay. So if your power and your freedom is what you want, own that. Okay. You have to know what you're chasing, not what the industry says you should be chasing. Now, how do I do this? Well, you're like, okay, how do I figure that out? Everyone's telling me to do this and do that and follow this way. Close your eyes. Do it with me if you want. Close your eyes real quick. What do I want? What makes me feel happy? What makes me feel aligned and successful and wealthy and happy? Breathe into it. Allow that brain to just take a back seat. It probably is telling you what you think you should be doing and 70 other things. But lean into the heart. It's wise. It knows. So your version of rich could be, hey, I'm spending the morning with myself, with my family, going for a walk, enjoying my time. Some versions of success is I woke up and I have a whole team to run and I have company retreats. Some people's success is I get to just be. You know, it looks different for other people. Some people want to spend their mornings with their kids, their dogs, their friends, whatever it is, you get to decide what makes me feel rich. And you will be surprised how much of those things make you feel better than money ever would. Like I said, if you have 10K right now, you're going to sit there and like love on it and like kiss it, hold it, like love it the way you love your family. No, you're going to use that. It's going to be gone just as fast as it comes in. Of course, you can save and put it in investment accounts and it'll grow, but is it in your possession to spend right here, right now if it's in a savings? No, you're doing something with it. It's not just in your presence. So you're chasing this money for it to go away really quickly. Why? And that's okay. You can get massages, you can travel, you can pamper yourself. This new mic that I just got that I'm recording on right now is new. And I felt like a princess pampering myself. And yeah, the money didn't matter. What I feel after I spent the money, that's what matters. Do I feel connected to my people, my friends, my family, stuff like that, okay? But before we even get to loving mindset and money and being able to understand that, we can't just tell ourselves money's great, I'm gonna do amazing, I feel safe with money, I'm a millionaire. Because you can't lie to your nervous system. That whole fake it till you make it is also part of the toxic hustle culture. It's the trap, okay? You can't fake energy. That's why we have to hone in on the nervous system first. The mindset is incredibly powerful. The mind is incredibly powerful, but so is the nervous system. So without that regulation, this version of you being successful feels a little chaotic and it doesn't feel like it's yours and you don't feel like you're in alignment because everything is just pure chaos, okay? That's why even millionaires meditate. That's why they work out. That's why they have routines. I mean, that's why they hire coaches. Like you're there, we're all still humans, okay? No matter if you're making $1 or $1 million or $1 billion, you're still a human being and you still need to regulate. When you regulate, the things that you're telling your mind register to the body. And if they don't, if the body's not softening, it's because it doesn't believe what you say in your mind. So you might have to reframe some of those thoughts to make them really register to something that you can believe in on a cellular level. For instance, when I first started working on my money mindset, I'd say, money is attracted to me and it'll come to me and I feel safe with it. And I literally say it as this mocking thing because I didn't believe it. I was like, that's bullshit, right? But when I meditated and when I regulated my body and I said, I am starting the process to believe in myself to make more money. Therefore, when I do get to that level, it will come to me as a magnet. And it did, but I had to make sure that the brain and the body registered. Because if you're just telling yourself, I feel safe, I feel safe, I feel safe, I love money, and it doesn't feel true to the body, it it battles, it disconnects, okay? So the real flex here is the nervous system regulation. Can you feel safe with all this money that you've made? Okay? Again, there's some entrepreneurs who make so much money, but they are go, 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 and they don't have a moment for themselves. Okay, I've worked with therapists, even very successful therapists who've done the same thing. I'm so good at my job, but I'm just burnt out. I don't rest. I'm just working constantly. So whether they're chasing money or their version of success, they need to slow down too. So, again, the real flex is being regulated. Now, treat money like you would a relationship. For instance, if you yell at money all the time and tell it it's not enough and it's not enough and it's not enough and just negativity, it's going to go the fuck away from you and be like, yeah, no, thank you. I don't want to be around you. I would. But if you say, wow, I love your presence, I hear you, I feel you, you're amazing, yada yada, like it's gonna register and it's gonna want to spend its time around you. So if you shame it and you doubt it constantly, it's gonna be like, yeah, I'm not sticking around here. You're not doing great. So money wants to feel safe with you. Money is a tool, money is energy. So it gets to bring this level of flow and clarity when you're grateful for it. And so when you're grateful, the universe feels that positive energy, that high vibration, if you will. And you can use the law of attraction. It will come in just as quickly as it dissipates, but if you believe that it will and you're grateful for that income. So whether you celebrate, whether you get $1 in your bank account or $100 or $1,000 or $1 million, celebrate it the same. I'm telling you, like, watch what happens. Okay. So celebrate, 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 celebrate. And if you're like, why am I celebrating this? Do it. Even if it feels so tiny, that deserves to be celebrated. Okay. So almost done here. We're going to talk a little bit about sustainable success. So some people blow out and burn out so fast. Like they blow their money, they invest, they do all the things, they grow and they're killing it, but then they're like exhausted. And they're like, I can't do this all the time. But if you stay consistent and grounded and you focus on just having those 1% progress and celebrating the shit out of those little messy progresses, you're going to have more results. And those results will be so much sweeter knowing that you celebrated yourself every step of the way. Okay. So when you build something real, that something lasts. But when it's just this big chase, this big spurt because you're chasing the money, it's not very aligned. So oftentimes entrepreneurs get to this big level of success and they go, oh shit, well, I'm not as happy as I thought I would be. Well, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not grateful. Maybe I'm not this. And it's not true. It's simply just that when you burn big and you burn bright, oftentimes you burn out. So we want to be slow and consistent, and that is what builds sustainable success long term. So you're not exhausted. You're not like, oh my God, I've built this huge business and now I don't want it anymore, or this life, or whatever it may be. So it's not sexy, yes, to go slow, and to be consistent because everyone wants to blow up, everyone wants to go viral, but like really remember why you're here. Oftentimes those entrepreneurs are like, why the fuck am I even doing this? Because I made the money and that's what I thought I wanted. But at the end of the day, what is it that you really wanted? It's not sexy to go slow. It's not. Again, everyone wants to blow up, but it's sacred. You need to feel safe moving forward. And I'm not saying stop everything and don't move forward until you feel safe. That comes with time, but regulate. Really focus on being safe with the body, letting the mind hear what you're saying so they're on the same page, and going with your gut and letting your intuition guide. Because whatever got you started, it probably wasn't the money. That may have been a cherry on top. Maybe you want to help people. Maybe you want to heal. Maybe you want to break generational trauma and be a better parent. Maybe you want less anxiety. Maybe you want more confidence. You can do all those things, but don't let money distract you and make you feel like that's really why you're here. Okay. So I'm going to leave you guys with a couple journal prompts. This can be something that you can pause on per question. You can go through them all and do it one at a time. These will also be in the show notes. So you'll see these to come back to. This video is evergreen. So just know if you're like, wow, that was a lot, I need to pause and just kind of munch on what you're saying here, that's okay. You can come back to these prompts, but I want you to ponder them. So what I like to do sometimes is I'll listen to journal prompts while I'm walking and thinking and just flowing, and then I'll come back and like really put that into um, to action. So what am I chasing right now and why? Don't judge yourself for whatever answer comes up. Just be curious. What am I chasing and why? Genuinely. Is it because of the way I was raised? Is it because I didn't have money? Is it because that I'm telling myself I need something that I don't? Just be honest. And don't do anything with this answer. Just allow it to be. Okay? Just sit with it. That's your homework. So, what does my current definition of success feel aligned? Does my current level of success feel aligned, or does it feel borrowed? Does it feel real, true? If not, why not? Does this level of wealth feel real in my body? Does it feel true? If it doesn't, maybe your body's not softening, maybe it's really tight in some area, listen to it. Don't judge yourself, just be aware, okay? What relationship do I want to have with money starting today? Because again, you get to decide. This blew my mind. I was like, wait, what? Other people's version of success isn't the one I have to have? No. If I wake up every day and I've helped somebody change their life and build their school community and regulate and heal, I've done it. I can say, high five, good job. Little me is satisfied. So what's going to make her happy or him happy or them happy? They are a big part of this. So ponder these questions. Okay. So if this episode hit home today, just know you are not broken for thinking this way. I had a terrible mindset with money and a terrible relationship with money for a long time. So you're not broken, you're not damaged. It's okay that you thought this way, but now it's time to expand your mind, expand your nervous system to what really comes next. Okay? So if this landed, share it with a friend. If someone else is struggling and they are chasing these things and they're exhausted and they're burnt out, maybe they need to hear this too, especially if it landed for you today. Okay? So I will leave you the same way I leave you every single day. You deserve a life where you are rich in peace, not just dollars. Okay? So feel free to, what am I going to say? Be fearless, be free, and do it your way. You might like the